Podcast back again. A few updates on the podcast. Hopefully it'll be going up every month. Here and now, I've got commitments in and outside college, so 1 month might miss. A trailer is going up next month-ish, hopefully. But in the meantime, we have a special guest.
Hi.
Zoe, sit forward. You just released an album.
I did.
How is it?
Actually, I hate it.
Oh, great. Sell it.
Yeah, it's, I play the guitar on it, and I can't play the guitar.
Brilliant.
So it's all a bit rough. But if you want to listen to it, it's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify.
Kieran will link it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be there. Just don't judge too harshly.
I'll play, if it's alright with Zoe, I'll play
no, it's not okay
10, 20 seconds
You won't play it.
of a song.
You won't play it. He's not going to play it.
I'm going to convince her. There'll be 20 seconds in the edit. It sounds sick. Go give it a listen. You'll love it.
Thinking about the world I want to live in. With every single breath I take, I think about the world I'd make. A world to end the heartbreak. I wanna find a person who will take my hand and lead me through. And I'm hoping that that person is you. And I'm hoping that that person is you.
In the meantime, music.
Yeah.
How do you think? What music?
Well, seeing as I'm literally studying only music here at college.
Here at college.
It's quite big, you know?
It's quite big. Question. What do you think of music nowadays in this kind of... We spoke about this the other day. There's a new bar opening up in Colchester. You're hoping to get a job there. I said about I worked in a bar too, and sometimes what a bar will do is they'll hire poor musicians for less money, about 200 a night, I think. If they get a audience out of it, then it's cheap and business is coming in, so they'll stick at that. Which I don't personally agree with. I think music's going downhill because of that. I mean, you hope the one in Colchester is sick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll hope so too. But I don't know, music, something needs to change. Maybe a minimum wage or something brought into music. I don't know.
To be honest, if I was to get the opportunity to gig at the new jazz bar...
The jazz bar in Colchester?
The jazz bar anywhere, to be honest.
Right.
I don't think I'd charge very much, because I don't think you should have to pay to have music playing. I'd want a fee, because I'm putting the effort in to practice those songs and to bring my gear and to perform. But if... I will set a reasonable price, and it won't be 200 a night, because I don't need £200 a night. Okay,
well, let me tell you, right, so, you know about Tenor Bar, Legion and Walton, probably shouldn't say that, you're all going to go stalk my old bar. I used to work up there, and people used to sing up there. We had singers every week, kind of Saturday night or Friday night, it was one of those, it was Saturday, and they'd sing the same as Valerie, you know songs like Valerie, those songs. And they can sing. I genuinely think I could give them a run for their money. But they'd get like 200. It was 250 a night. 3 hours. Well, I don't know what they call it. Like they have breaks in between. Sets. They had 3 sets. Let's hope the audio's good, because otherwise that could sound like I'm saying something completely different. But they had 3 sets. 250 a night, and they didn't do anything. They sung, they played the one guy actually played his tambourine. That's not bad. They played his tambourine. But I think you're looking at it from a hobby aspect. If you look at it from a job aspect, this is biased probably, but you're worth way more than 250. But that's not many bars will play it. It feels like once you're kind of beyond that 250 kind of basic, you can't sing mark, you won't get a job in those cheapy little bars unless you're on that kind of wage, you know. And that
is true.
Yeah.
But I think from a musician's point of view, I hope at least, I don't think musicians have gigging in bars as their end game. It's just a procedure. It's either a hobby that they're doing alongside their main job just to get some extra cash,
Right.
or it's a way for someone to see them and it's to get their name out. You perform at one bar, you do a really great job, you don't charge too much, that bar is going to then spread your name and you're going to get higher and higher up and you're going to reach a point where you don't have to perform at gigs at bars anymore because you're just better than that. Then
I get that. I think a problem with that is maybe too many people think they can sing nowadays.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, so many people, and this is going to sound really bad, but
No,
so
it's
many
fine.
people that we did a gig recently here, the Christmas gig, and there are 4 groups that performed.
There was 4?
Yeah, there's Group C and Group A. I'm Group C Year 2.
Oh, and there's Group C Year 1,
There's Group C Year
A.
1, and there's the 2 years of A. The Group A people, they're the people that think that they're going to get that call, they're going to get the record deal, it's going to be smooth sailing, when it's really not.
And to shed some light on those guys, sometimes it is though, right?
Sometimes it is. If you are that lucky to be seen by the right person at the right time...
But what you're saying is you shouldn't bank on that. And I
you
totally
cannot
agree
bank
with
on that. And they get up on stage, and honestly, I hate to say this, but it's like, wait, did you think that performance was okay? And it's like, there is so much more to music than just
music,
singing.
right?
Yeah.
It's, and that's the same with what I do. So before we set up here, I was trying to set the right audio, and we're currently using a phone because I can't say names, but a guy screwed me over. So and I was setting up the phone, so he was rushing me. But it's things you don't think of, and things you should think of that will really help you improve you, I suppose. But they clearly don't think about that.
They don't think about that. I think they rush together a performance and put together the quickest thing they can just to get a slot at the gig.
Explain about what is the difference between what do you do? What's the course you're on?
I'm on. The course name is Extended Diploma in Music Performance and Recording.
Right. So what course are they on?
And they're on. I mean, all I know is that it's popular music. And I was honestly, when I was looking at the 2 different music courses here, I was very.
Yeah. What is the difference?
I think one is a lot music, the music industry. It's
Just
based.
straight. Okay.
It's like you don't have to read music. You get a little bit of theory skills taught, but it's mostly how to make it in the music industry.
Okay, right.
But I was very close to choosing that course because I thought when it said professional musician, I thought it was going to be classical. It was going to be all music theory.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah, it sounds like all that's way above my abilities, but turns out it's not. There's so much performing, there's so much composing, there's different elements, whereas if I had chosen the pop course, it would have limited me, because I think, personally, this is going to sound so cocky, but I'm just able to do the things the pop guys are, and it wouldn't have tested my skills, it wouldn't have taught me anything new, I would have just been performing.
Would you say that about everyone else on your course? Can do what those guys can do.
Oh yeah,
too?
for sure.
So it's not. It is a course thing. It's not just.
Yeah, the people on my course. There's a guy who plays saxophone at the grade 8 level.
Oh, he's sick.
He's top of his game. We have
shout out to that guy. Listen, if
Henry
you,
Johnson, come to the next gig. He'll play the sax.
I'll try and if it's alright, I'll ask you. This could be weird, but I'll try and message him and see if I can put like 5 seconds off. Is he not okay?
No, he's not. But yeah, like we have people top of the game, and then we have people who have the most incredible singing voices, but they know nothing about theory. And I think the course that I'm on is so I don't know the words. It's
designed to
everyone.
help you kind of actually make it in the music industry.
Yeah,
right?
so
you know what to do, how to get places.
Well, yes and no. I think one of the things that I've been told and has stuck with me, and I've been told this by more than one person, but if you cannot read music, you shut yourself off to 80% of the jobs that you could get if you could read music. And that's so true. Like, music theory and being able to understand music, not just performing it, being understanding is so important, because if someone asks you, if you say for instance someone is in a band and they have your number and their lead singer goes sick, like their lead singer cannot sing, They can call you and they can get you in, and you can then sing.
And that's
but if you can't read the music,
right?
that's money for you that you wouldn't have. But if you cannot read music, you don't know how to sing it, how they want it, and it's so important that you understand and you can just do it straight away.
Right. So you've got if you're those guys, I suppose they've got one job and that one job only, and they can't.
Yeah, if you mess
they're
up,
not flexible at all. Right?
Yeah,
So.
I mean, some people are flexible. They'll be like, that's okay, but you can't risk it. You've just got to assume that if you don't do it in the first time, you won't get it.
Exactly.
And you cannot afford really to say no in the music industry.
Oh God, no.
If you are a heavy metal drummer, and that's all you want to do, you're so closed-minded, and someone comes up to you and asks, hey, would you be willing to come and play in the orchestra for a musical theatre production? You say no.
I feel like that's the same with all creative arts right now.
Yeah, you can't afford to be closed-minded, because that means that person won't give you a good reference. That means you're not opening your eyes to other kind of styles. It's just, you just need to be open-minded about all the different styles and things that you can do.
Yeah, that's what you talk about that a lot as well, because you're interested in theatre, right?
Yeah, theatre. I'm interested in loads of things.
And that's the best thing, because I think I'm a bit closed-minded sometimes when it comes to my future, but being that open-minded can only ever be a good thing. Hopefully, those guys. I know there's one singer on there that I really liked. There's a guy. I think it's Ginger.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's sick, man. I really enjoyed him. Hopefully, he'll do well. But I suppose they'll just have to figure it out for himself, right? But
yeah.
I understand what you say about that.
Yeah, I think people who have I know there's a couple of singers in my class who they've got their image, they've got their style, and they've made their brand, and that's it. Whereas there are others that I think, me included, it's like, I don't have a brand, I don't have a style, I do whatever I'm asked.
Right.
I was asked to sing so many different songs by someone in my class. I was like different genres, completely different. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll learn those. I'm up to the challenge.
That's the same with anything. Even in sports, sometimes you see football, and I translate everything to football because that's all I know. But you'll see a striker playing left wing and the right wing, and that will adapt his kind of game. And I'm sure when you play with I don't know music, so if you was playing an orchestra, singing an orchestra, I don't even know if orchestras have singers, to be honest.
Yeah, I've sung with an orchestra.
But have you actually?
Yeah.
How was that? That's really interesting.
I honestly think that singing with an orchestra, and the bigger the band, the more confident I think I am.
Less eyes on you as well, right? So
yeah. No, more eyes on you, I think.
If there's more in the band.
If there's more in the band... Oh, yeah, actually, that's true. When it's a band, so I've performed with, like, bass, drums, guitar and vocals. I've been the vocal. And it's, it's fun, because performing with... The more people that are on stage, the more comfortable you feel.
Definitely.
And then, ultimately, your performance is definitely going to get better if you're more confident. I sang with an orchestra, and it was... The rehearsals are nerve-wracking because everyone had to be so in time, they had to hit their right notes, everything had to be perfect. But it was so polished, and it was so... Every type of song you do with different accompaniments is different, and it gives you a different feeling. And I'm up on stage and the orchestra's down in the pit, so eyes are only on me.
Oh, so that's... Okay.
Yeah. Eyes are only on me, and but I've got this massive sound. And performing with a backing track, I've done a lot of times, and a lot of times backing tracks have failed me because they've stalled, they've been in the wrong key.
That's something to be concerned about when you use backing tracks.
Definitely. So it's always better to have a live accompaniment, and so performing with an orchestra is like performing with a backing track, but you can rely on them a lot more.
I might be wrong, but I think you'll agree with me here. I think it sounds better.
Oh, for sure.
It definitely, as from a...
it's far less awkward as well.
Right.
If it's just you with a backing track,
it feels like it's real music,
Yeah, definitely.
That's where music originated from.
100%.
It gives it more power and I think. Anyway, let's move back to getting you more Spotify followers.
Oh, don't.
What are some of the ideas you had? What inspired? Anything inspire you?
I mean, a lot of the songs that are on the album I've had around for a long time. There's one called Fly, and I wrote that.
That's been out for a while.
That's been out. I
You
wrote
released
that
that as a
years
single.
ago, and I did release that as a single, but then I took it down because I wasn't happy with it, and then uploaded it again because
Why not?
who cares, you know?
But download the Spotify.
Download them all. Come on, guys. I participated in a competition called Open Mic UK, and there was the audition stage, the first live rounds, and I got through to the second live rounds. I didn't get through any further. And I wrote a song. And
Tear goes down the
no, it was a good thing, to be honest. And I only played a ukulele at this point. So I wrote a song.
Ukulele's a banging ballad. I want to throw
It
that
is
out
great.
there. Ukulele's
I love my
underrated.
ukulele. But I'll explain why it let me down in a moment.
Right.
I wrote a song and played it with my ukulele in the audition. And I had written a song for an audition.
So was this Fly? Was this a different song?
This was a different song,
Okay, right.
but it's never seen the live day, to be honest, which is a good thing. And then that got me through to the first live round. And I wrote this song Fly, and I performed it with my ukulele. But my ukulele is not a plug-in, so they had to stand microphones around it, and that made it sound...
What is a plug-in quickly?
A plug-in, oh gosh, it's an input. So you know how like you have an electric guitar?
It like amplifies.
It amplifies
Right,
it.
Okay.
That's what I had to do when I played the ukulele. So I wrote the song Fly, I had the lyrics on paper, I was really scared because I'd never performed with my ukulele before, and I never performed...
First time.
Yeah, first song I'd performed an original, and first song I'd performed with an instrument, so I was
Jeez.
terrified. And it got me through, and there was an award for the best original song, and I think 2 other girls had written their song, and, you know, I won.
I mean, how much more original can you get?
Yeah,
You've just wrote a
fully.
song, your voice is very distinct, and you've got, it's a ukulele. No one writes songs
Yeah,
with a ukulele.
and it was, I was quite confident after I performed in that round. But then I had to go to, and I've forgotten where it was, I think it was somewhere in London, the second live round. And this was, the first live round was in Chelmsford, and it was kind of district based. So auditions and performances were going on all over the country.
Right.
And then like the second round, everyone came together, and I was up against people from different districts.
Okay, right.
And I performed another original song with my ukulele, but this time the venue was much bigger, and obviously the sound was so thin it just didn't
sound right.
It didn't sound right, and I
ukulele's not the loudest of
yeah,
instruments either.
it's quite a thin, delicate instrument, and so my voice and me just playing the ukulele.
I can imagine it's a good. You have a very. I don't know the word that make it sound like a compliment, but you have a very loud voice.
Oh
when it
yeah,
comes
I
to
can
your
sing
work.
very loud.
And ukulele is very soft, very.
Yeah, I can imagine that in the audience it just wouldn't have sounded right, and so I think I didn't get through after that round. But I'd written 3 songs and performed with the
Did you
ukulele.
perform all 3?
I performed 2, and then 1 was for the
They
audition.
ran out in a ball of tears on that.
No. Yeah, so I've written songs for things, and I've performed with an instrument, and it's all together. It comes down to that's just experience, and
Right.
I know that I need to have an instrument that I can plug in so it fills the venue.
That's how you learn, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, 100%.
Losing is learning.
But then turns out, I mean, the whole competition was just a ploy for money. Like,
Oh, really?
it cost £30 after I got through the audition, and then they said, okay, it's £30 to, or I think it was 30.
To enter.
Okay, you've got through the audition. If you want to carry on, it's £30 up front. Bear in mind. And so me and Mama had to run down to the next.
So you had to pay to get through to the next round?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And me and Mama had to run down to it was a co-op where they had a cash machine.
Oh my god.
And it's like, oh my gosh.
That's
It's like,
tragic.
and the tickets, the more tickets you sold, the more points you got. So you got votes, but
So did the audience vote, or was it the...
the audience voted,
Right.
and there were also judges that also decided, so it was down to judges and audience.
Okay.
But the more tickets you sold, the more points you got. So if you were spending tickets, getting the money and giving more money to this company, you were more likely to get through, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah, I get it. So it is
And
a money thing.
Yeah, I had my mum, dad, sister, grandparents, my godmother and my godmother's daughter.
Right.
And that's 7 people.
How big's the audience?
Well, there were teenage girls with all of their friends.
Oh, geez.
And I didn't have much of a chance when it came to the popularity vote. I was just hoping that the judges and the audience would like me you know.
You should have done that thing they do on X Factor.
Do you think?
I broke my leg and my dad died yesterday.
Yeah. Everything in my life is going wrong.
Right.
Vote for me.
Vote for me.
Yeah, so I kind of expected that I wouldn't get through the second live round because like this one guy, Roddy. Oh god. Roddy. His name was Roddy Ryan.
Did he get through?
Yeah.
Yes,
his name was Roddy Ryan.
Shut up.
And
If Roddy's listening to this, can you please comment on this? Anything. Dad, call me Dad.
But yeah, this guy Roddy Ryan played the piano and sang.
That's a name of the day.
And he had a massive fan base, and I'm just like, alright, well,
he gets all the girls too.
To be honest, I don't think he would. No offence, Roddy, but you're a bit of an idiot, and you knocked me out of the competition.
Oh my god, maybe not you, but
yeah, no, you wouldn't get me, bitch.
You get me. That name just gets me alone.
Roddy Ryan. Did
they introduce it?
Huh?
Did they introduce people?
Oh yeah.
Next on stage.
Is Roddy Ryan. Yeah,
oh.
no. That's still a joke in my household, the whole Roddy Ryan thing.
I'm gonna say it next time around.
So it's my dad, he will laugh.
Roddy
and that
Ryan.
was like
That's brilliant.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I used to write a lot of songs that would just, and I'm not afraid to say this, I used to write sad songs with sad lyrics. And to be honest, there were a couple on my album that are sad, but my grandparents just said, why don't you write happier songs? And it kind of like...
You sound very good on
happy songs are just happy to listen to. And obviously there's a time and a place for sad songs, you know, when you're in the mood for a sad song.
I think naturally you might get more... and this might be wrong if someone checks the stats. I'll check the stats. I feel like if... let's say you produce a happy song and a sad song, both on the same level, I think you always get more followers coming back to the happy one than you will the sad, because you want to return to a positive emotion and not a sad one, you know?
It does it depends on the audience.
Right, yeah. Definitely.
And it's hard writing songs about things that you necessarily can't relate to. I know the first couple of songs are Fly, Parachute, there's a cringy one called My Laugh, don't listen to that one. It's a bit bad. But then it's like there are a couple in the album that I'm really pleased with. But then there's
she bangs. It's a banging Spotify playlist. What's the album called?
It's called Wild I'd Make.
Wild I'd Make.
And the song that is Wild I'd Make is probably one of the ones I spent the most time on, and I'm the most proud of. And there's one that I wrote. Oh, there's two that I wrote. Like, and it gets to a point where you're so drained. It's like, what else do I write about? You know, and you just kind of just get out lyrics as fast as you can. It's like people
probably shouldn't say that to the people who are going to check out.
Yeah, just see if you can guess which ones I don't.
Yeah,
read.
see you guess the bad ones.
Yeah. Comment. Tell me why I'm bad. Please don't do that. My self-esteem cannot take it.
No more songs will be released.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about. Yeah. I was thinking about this yesterday. Singers that don't write their own songs, I don't find it very authentic. It feels like it's kind of especially with I can kind of bear it with a happy song. There's where the emotions come back into play with a song, because I feel like that ultimately is what music is, right? Emotion. And I feel like when you got Barbara down the road, right? Let's call her Barbara. And you've got Daryl, that's the singer, and Barbara's writing Daryl a song about her hit Daryl's wife that's just left him. Daryl's never had a wife. You know, Daryl's a well-respected man, holds himself well. He's never been divorced. And that is singing on a track about his wife leaving him or dying, I don't know. And he'll get millions of followers, but it feels very unauthentic.
Yeah, to be honest.
I was saying why I don't mind it so much with a happy. And that's because it's not so much of a... Everyone could be happy, you know? But I feel like... who is this singer? Taylor Swift. She got found out one of her higher earning songs that it wasn't even wrote by her. And it was about, Taylor Swift. She's never released a happy song in her life.
Right, yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's just not right. But a happy song is more... Everyone could be happy, you know? It's like everyone can relate to.
Yeah, that is a good point. And I might annoy some people by saying this, but Ed Sheeran doesn't write a majority of his own songs.
And he's trash.
That is true, but
It's terrible.
but
And
that's
he's ginger.
it's an opinion. It's just opinion.
It's not an opinion.
Kieran, you're going to anger people here.
I don't care. He sucks. He's like
I
Marvel.
think people. Ooh, now you annoyed me.
No, we can't bring this up again. This was last week.
We have to
Last
stop.
week, last month.
Yeah, singers that don't write their own songs, I think, if a person that writes songs can't sing and they want their songs to be out there, I know there's a guy in my class. He wrote a song and asked another girl to sing it, and I think if you credit the person that's singing and who wrote it, both people get equal credits. That's fine. But if you write songs that win so much, like Ed Sheeran gets so much money for the songs he writes, but no one really hears about the guy that wrote them for him.
Okay, I'll tell you why I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with credibility. That should be the most... I don't like singers claiming things that's not theirs. Excuse the drumming. So, you know, I don't know who that is.
We're in a music
We're
block.
in a music block, so it was a dumb idea. Yeah, so that's really throwing me off now. What was I saying? Songwriters. What was I saying about songwriters?
You have a problem with singers not giving their songwriters credit.
They should all get credit. But the problem I have with it is the fact that they pass off such a sad song, such an emotional song, and it's they're not that sad,
Yeah,
and they're the ones singing
I think
it.
one of the reasons people like sad songs is because they can relate, and if they can relate, it makes them feel like they're not alone in whatever they're feeling. And
Right, but
someone they look up to so much, someone like Taylor Swift, if Taylor Swift sings a song and you can identify perfectly with it, you think that she's, you think you can relate to her. Then you find out, oh, she wasn't actually feeling that way, it is just me.
you're not at that point. You're not relating to anyone.
Yeah,
you know. You're relating to some songs that was put together, most of it probably in an edit on auto-tune, and so A for me. But screw music, because music sucks, right?
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Music is one of the best
It was
things.
good before you arrived.
Oh!
Let's move on to a new section we're adding into this podcast. We're going to read some comments from brilliant. I don't know who this drummer is.
We're saying music is great and music is going on all around us.
Yeah, great.
Right downstairs, in fact.
But yeah, we're going to read some comments out from the last podcast. I didn't get many, so most of them probably will get read. Some of them were... I've read them before. Zoe has read some of them.
I haven't read any of them.
Oh, that's even better. She ain't read... We'll
I'm
go
worried.
through them. We're going to get Zoe's reaction on them.
Okay.
Yeah. On to the first comment from a man. And this guy's an absolute legend for his comment underneath too, that you're going to find out. His first one though is, my favourite film is High School Musical. Now, I have sneaky suspicions. I'm not one to call out people for being gay, but the comment underneath this might what's the word? Push on my assumption. What do you think about that? Is the best film ever High School Musical?
No.
Alright, then we don't need an explanation.
I've only ever seen a High School Musical, once.
Right,
it was never my thing, and
okay,
it's not
brilliant.
a good film.
It don't need to be
Sorry
anyone's
if that
film.
annoys anyone.
No,
It
let
shouldn't be
annoy everyone.
anyone's
Screw
favourite
it.
film.
I hope it
Zac
annoys people.
Efron didn't actually sing in the first movie,
Oh.
so that's why I hate it. Okay, next
He's
comment.
already dead. Now, remember what I said earlier. So, Alfie X1999 is probably watching this again. He says, the guy in the thumbnail looks cute, by the way. You've got competition.
Do I? Well, Alfie XX, whatever your name is.
Oh!
Try it, bitch!
Oh shit, I actually really like Alfie X1999.
Then you go to Alfie XX9, you know?
Oh.
Just do what you want. I don't
some
care.
guy called... okay. Some guy called Juan Luis.
What a cool name, Juan Luis.
He says, do you think your farts smell nice, Kieran? Does my fart smell nice?
You're too shy to fart in front of me.
That's true.
And we've been together for over a year. And yeah, so I'm sure if you were to fart, they'd smell lovely.
Brilliant.
But please don't,
Someone
because it's
replied.
gross.
Some guy called I Cookie Bro Your Mum commented, Juan Luis, I think he does. Brilliant. Cheers for that, boys.
They have such faith in you.
Drew Burgess, that was on the last podcast, definitely listening to this. says, "What is this? I disagree." Funny enough, that's what his mum told me the other day of his adoption papers. So no one's laughing. Brilliant. That was a banging joke.
That was a bad joke.
Some guy called Elliot says, "The best film is clearly Action Man Robot Attack." And his, I forgot what they call it, thumbnail. It's not a thumbnail. It's like their avatar.
Picture.
Yeah. Is a cartoon character. So
We'll just leave that
Don't insult him. He might be young.
Sorry, if you're young. If you're young, that is perfectly acceptable. If you're a grown man and your avatar is a cartoon, you do you. Okay, I'm not one to
It's like
judge.
the My Little Pony thing, isn't it?
If you're a
Have you heard
brony,
about that?
yeah,
Yeah,
you can be a brony. I'm not judging you.
Yeah. Little heads up to the people that search brony on not on YouTube, on Google.
YouTube.
Watch the websites you go on. Some brony videos do get taken too far.
Yeah.
Talking about that, next month there will be a brony YouTube video going up on my account. Keep it. No, I'm joking. There isn't one. She
Do you
looked
have a
at me.
secret?
She looked at me. She was like, "Oh, you've been serious." But yeah, it's gonna run out soon, so I should probably leave. We've
What's
kept
going
my phone.
Oh.
Yeah, we've kept you long enough. Next month, we have a cameraman dedicated every month to the podcast. Shout out James, a legend. It's going to be filmed in the green screen room, so it's going to look sick. We might have to stick to the same guests for next month while we're still learning things.
That means you get to see me.
No, not you, Drew and Connor and Jamie.
Oh right.
Yeah,
okay.
you get those. You get a good podcast
Okay,
next month.
Okay.
It'll look sick. Hopefully, check out my girl Zoe's. I forgot what you do. What do you
So
do?
have I, to be
You
honest.
sing.
This is taking too long. I've forgotten
check out
everything.
Spotify. What is your Spotify name?
You should link it.
I will link it.
Link it. It's Zoe B.
Zoe
I
B.
hate it. I can't change it
Where
though.
else can they find you? iTunes.
No. Oh yeah. I forgot. I'm literally on every platform.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same. This podcast will be going live hopefully next month. It's all a cadaffle.
Because that's a word.
Yes. But hopefully we're going up on every. It's going up on LinkedIn, so it's LinkedIn. That is, so it's going up on every single thing you can imagine. Spotify, all that. So yeah. Thank you. So,
Yeah. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
To be honest, you were the last resort.
Yeah. It's okay.
No, I'm joking. All right, cool. Cheers.